Hey everyone, I'm Father Timothy Pavlados.
And I'm Pres Vicky. We covered chapter 8, Dreams, a Lifetime of Love. And I have to say it was kind of an interesting chapter for me.
Yeah, I agree.
All the other chapters have seemed so significant when you think of like those big bullet points in marriage. So the idea of dreams was really interesting, that it was so important that it needed to be its own chapter.
Yeah, and I wonder too if that doesn't have something to do with the fact that maybe we haven't really talked about it that much.
Yeah.
And all the other topics that we have covered are things that we've really covered in our relationship. And this sort of shows me that it's not an area that we've really spent a lot of time on.
For sure. And, what I found when we read the chapter was dreams was kind of broken up into different examples. It was like kind of your goals, your bucket list, and
just natural dreams.
Your dreams,
like vision
big,
of something big.
So those were three really distinct topics, which I think are really.
How would you differentiate them? I mean, in terms of those sections, like what's an example of each of those? Maybe.
Well, for a bucket list would be, I want to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro, or I want to run in a marathon. Versus, I have this dream of us taking our family and going to a third world country and living as missionaries.
Okay.
Or I have a goal of getting my master's degree type of thing.
Okay. So if someone says, I have a dream of whitewater rafting in the Colorado River, you would say that's not really a dream, it's actually a bucket list item?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's worth exploring and then maybe breaking that up as a couple.
I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful because I think we use these terms and we use them interchangeably, but when it comes to dreams, I think there's something, there's a lot of value around that. And there's something much stronger than that. And, the only time I think about dreams is I think about when we sleep at night and we have dreams, or when I think of in the Old Testament with Joseph when he had dreams. But there's really an integral part of us when we think about our makeup as individuals created in God's image. One of the things that God has given us is this. It's a faculty of the soul, and it's called the appetitive faculty, or the appetitive aspect of the soul. And the word means appetite. And so it really is about desire. And so God has given every human soul this part of us where we would desire Him with all of our being. And that's why we have it. In our fallen nature, though, we oftentimes, direct that towards other things. And inherently, that's not wrong or bad unless it takes us away from God. But ultimately, that part of our soul is something that He has put in us so that we would love Him with all of our heart, all of our mind, all of our strength, etc. So it's something that's really natural to us. And so we have to, one, be aware of it, know sort of where that desire is going. And when it comes to dreams, that's what really fuels our dreams, because we have a desire for something. And so it's natural is what I'm saying.
You're talking about that sort of a God-given faculty of our soul, then it kind of makes it worth exploring to me.
Yeah.
And
we have a responsibility to it.
Yeah. And I would say we'd have to really do some thinking and praying on what are our dreams? Like, do we even have a dream? Is it God-given? What's the purpose of our dream?
So in other words, kind of what's fueling that, or what's behind it.
Right.
Identifying what a dream may be for each of us is one thing, but then asking ourselves the next question, what is it that's maybe behind this dream for me?